G'day, this is Jim from Living Life Now. Today I'm just going to run through a short video on packing for a world cruise. Now this video is going to be from a bloke's perspective. Linda's doing her own packing downstairs. I've taken over the junk room upstairs and I've laid out a few things just to get my head around how I'm going to pack. And I like to break things down the old KISS acronym, which is keep it simple, stupid. So because we're travelling through so many seasons, and usually at the change of seasons I can suffer a bit of congestion from dust. So the first thing for me is to air out all my winter clothes before I pack them, especially the wools and the dust collectors. So get them out in the line and just air them out for a day or two before I pack them away. So from there I kind of laid everything out, and I stole the idea from Linda. She's downstairs and she's got her boxes laid out, which I'll take you through later. But for me, I kind of laid things out in shorts and t-shirts. Summer, some dressier shorts and polo shirts, short sleeve shirts, exercise gear, swimmers, broad shorts. So there I've got dress pants and formal shirts. Casual jeans, there's a couple more to be added to there. I've got the swing seasons, what you do between winter and summer, and these are just some light linens and some light jackets, which sometimes the air conditioning can get a bit cold, so that's a pretty much a must. And of course, for a bald bloke, I love me hats, so I'm going to take the hats. So just on a side note, Linda and I had quite a few conversations on hats. Silly, I like to wear a peak hat in summer, and in winter I like to wear what I call me pinky blinder. So I have a few of these. Love the old porky pie. And if I'm going out when I need a bit more shade and the old bald head, I wear what we call the boonie hat. Right? Linda don't like the boonie hat. Doesn't like the boonie hat at all. She wants me to be more of a respectful gentleman when we're trancing around. So she wants me to wear this one. Now, I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't know. Anyway, if you want to make a comment, make a comment. I don't know. Probably just stick with me peak hat and get a couple of them from different countries. Put a bit of sunscreen on the neck, in the ears. Possibly. We'll see what gives. In the end, you're wise to stick what the wife reckons. Now on this side I've broken out my heavier gear, plus my jackets. I've probably taken too many jackets here for formal nights, so I've taken 3 jackets, but this one's a real casual jacket, a light throw over a t-shirt kind of thing. And this is a winter jacket and just a linen summer jacket. I don't like wearing ties, so I'm just going to be in open neck shirts and a jacket for those formal nights. I've got the heavier jackets for those colder climates. Got my footy gear, go Queensland. Give it to those New South Wales on the trip, hopefully. Well, they'll be giving it to us. And I've got some woolens there. Socks and undies. Decided to take 10 sets of undies, 10 sets of socks. So I've got 2 winter socks, I've got 4 sports socks, and I've got 4 dress socks. 10 pair of undies, 5 cotton, 5 quick dry. I'm going to pack about 5 pair of shoes, but it's pretty simple for a bloke. You've got your black shoes, you've got your brown shoes, you've got your light boat shoes, you've got your dark boat shoes, you've got your sneakers, your exercise shoes, and you've got your thongs. It's about all you need for a bloke. And Spain's pretty good for shoes, so might buy some more in Spain. I'll pack about 4 books just to get started. So I practice a bit of yoga, so I'm just taking a yoga towel. It's pretty lightweight. It's got some grippy stuff on the back. and won't take up much room at all. So on top of the usual toiletries, I've picked up some what I call chemist consumables. So I've got a bit of everything there. I've got my usual vitamins, and the doctor suggested some Telfast, some Gastro Stop for me as I get a bit of sinus problems and change of seasons and in air conditioning. And, just the basic stuff, razor blades and stuff on top of my consumables. What the doctor did suggest for me is he said, take some B1, as I'm probably going to be drinking a little bit more. So he suggested that I take B1 regularly. So for all the drinkers out there, apparently B1's a go. As I previously said, we all come at packing slightly different. Linda's taken over the spare room, and Linda's method of packing is quite organised. She's created labels and boxed everything out. So she's kind of in her mind, she's going to need summer clothes and PJs and underwear, winter clothes, formal clothes, spring clothes, exercise clothes, toiletries, accessories, medication. You've got a miscellaneous box there, and travel organisation. And all that's got to fit into 2 suitcases, and that'll be my job towards the end. But yeah, it's kind of a good way to lay things out. She's got some boxes, and she's just put everything in a box. So when she goes to packing, she'll know that she hasn't forgotten anything. I come at it a bit differently. I kind of just go, oh well, I'll put it all in, figure out what I need, and I have a saying, if I've forgotten it, I'll buy it out there. It's not as if we're still on the world. We'll still be in contact with shops, and anything we can forget, we can kind of pick up later. But yeah, this is a very good way of sorting out your lists and compartmentising your mind, and making sure you don't forget anything. So my idea here is I've got some packing cubes. So I'm going to bring these down and compress them down. I also had another idea, which is, I don't know whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, but I bought this from Amazon, which is just a big bag that vacuums down with a pump. I can just pump that out, vacuum all that, bring all that into one vacuum bag. Now that's just a thought. This was only cheap. I might have wasted my money. And when on the ship, when we get to those kind of climates, so just release that and hang that up. But that might help compress down into there if I have trouble fitting it all in, which I don't think I will. But I brought that as a kind of backup. Now the other thing that I brought that might be useful, and I brought one for Linda and one for myself. So as I said before, I'm likely to do some shopping while I'm over there. Well, I will do some shopping over there, and we might buy some stuff for the house. So whatever I'm taking here, I'm going to have more on the way home. So I bought these. There's 2 little bags, and I bought them from Amazon. So basically my thought process is to take this bag, right, so on the way back, right, this will be when we disembark. I'll probably fill these with clothes, and they look pretty sturdy enough. I kind of have a bit of a concern over the zip. The zip looked a bit fragile, but that's a massive bag. It opens up to a good size. Worst case scenario, you can even sling this one over your back to make it a backpack and carry it off the ship. But I don't want to do that. So my thought process is all my souvenirs, and there might be breakables in that, I'll pack in these hard cases on the way home. Probably my clothes, or these clothes, I'll fit half of them in one of these, or 2 of these. And Linda will probably, I'll have the same for Linda. If she wants to use it, she can use it. If she wants to buy a hard case, she can buy a hard case. But I'm a bit of a tight ass. I'm not going to buy another hard case to wheel off the ship. This was, I think they were very reasonably priced. I'll put the link in down below where you can get them on Amazon, but you can look that up yourself. Yeah, so that was an idea I had, and that's simple. That's just carrying a suitcase in the suitcase. So I can't see that being too hard. All right, as far as electronics go, as I said, Linda and I are starting to lay out things separately. So I'm laying out my gear, she's laying out her gear, and eventually we'll join together and we'll make our gear. But as far as electronics go, I kind of put a bit of focus on that. And I've got the iPhone 16, which is probably what I'll use for most of my pictures. And it's got a great camera on it, and it's really, it's everything you need. But I like to go a bit further, and I've got the Action 4. It's an underwater camera, and it's an action camera. It can take a little bit of knocking around, and it's waterproof, so I can probably pull that out in weather if need be. At the moment, I'm using my DJI Osmo, and that's generally my vlogging camera that I shoot most of my stuff on. But yeah, I'm on holidays, I won't be doing it all the time, but I'll pull that out. It's nice and compact and packs away quite small. Now I've got a zoom camera, and the zoom camera will basically stay on board. It's really for just zooming in on stuff that will be handy on the ship, especially when we're doing a bit of scenic cruising. So mainly that will stay on the ship because really, your iPhone has got a fairly good zoom on it, which the iPhone 16's got a fairly good zoom on it, which will do most things. I think it's up to 18, where my zoom camera goes up to 60, but it's what they call a bridge camera. It wasn't super expensive, but it will be handy for zoom photos. So to go with that, I've got a couple of tripods. So the bigger tripod is obviously ship to shore stuff and the zoom camera. Now I've got a smaller tripod that will just be handy for shooting some content stuff. And that little fella there, that's just an underwater one that the Action 4 jumps onto. So while we're heading in this direction, because we're on the Crown Princess, we've got some adapters here, basically the American to Australian, and then the antler charger. So that will just help with fast charging, and it's got 2 USB-Cs off there and I think a USB-A. So, and I'll just take the cords there. Should only need about 3, but that will charge everything I need, basically, because a lot of the stuff these days, a lot of this stuff is USB-C, charges on USB-C. And so then we come into basically your MacBook. So I use the MacBook there, do a bit of editing and keep my files on. Of course, the iPad. And these solid state drives. So I'm taking 2 solid state drives, 1 terabyte each. One's just about full actually, but that's got a lot of the family stuff on it. But if need be, I can buy another solid state drive out there. But as I say, if I forget it, I'll buy it. It's not as if we're dropping off the planet here. This stuff's readily available throughout the world. And as I say, if you forget it, you can buy it or borrow it. So this lot here should pack down fairly good. So I'll probably I haven't decided yet, but I'll probably take my laptop bag. And these 2 containers here, one is just, it's got a few separations and a few pockets for just technologies and charging and stuff. So that will be quite handy. I'll also take this and pack into this, because then I can use it for taking a little bit of food back to the cabin if I wish. So utilize that. So when I pack, I try to, instead of leaving that separate, I'll pack into that and kind of utilize the space. So that's my goal. But anyway, I'll be making another video on packing all this in. This video is really just about laying it out. We're 3 weeks away presently from the cruise, so it's 3 weekends to go. So I'll lay it out this weekend. Linda and I will join and probably pack next weekend, and then away we go. We'll probably be packed a week out. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I hope you found it useful. Hooroo!